Hello, my name is Craig Saxton. I'm the Adjudication Section Manager at IDWR. If you're watching this video, you most likely filed a claim to a water right in the Palouse River Basin Adjudication, and have just recently received a packet from IDWR that contains a preliminary recommendation for your water right, as well as a notice of error reply form. In this video, I will review the Palouse River Basin Adjudication, what an adjudication is, and go over some timelines. It's been a while since you filed your claim, so this video should give you a quick review. Let's get started. This presentation will be available in a PDF on IDWR's website in the Palouse River Basin Adjudication section. In this presentation, we're going to go ahead and talk about what a water rights adjudication is, why we adjudicate water rights, discuss what the Northern Idaho adjudications are, the steps in the water right adjudication process, and we'll go over the Palouse River Basin adjudication, kind of recap the steps that got us to where we're at. Then we'll look at the future dates and timelines of the Palouse. And finally, we'll discuss some resources that might help answer some questions and allow you to get some additional information. So what is a water rights adjudication? Well, it's a court proceeding, and essentially a court proceeding that inventories and catalogs all the water rights that exist at a particular snapshot in time. Individuals, the claimants or the water users, file those claims, they get reviewed, and ultimately the court issues a decree confirming the elements of the water right. Why do we adjudicate water rights? Well, as we all know, water is a valuable resource in Idaho, and supplies aren't always sufficient to meet the demands. So proper management requires resource quantification. So in order to manage our water use, we need to know what we're using out there. The adjudication is a way to inventory those water rights and their uses and the extent of use, so the resource can be managed properly. It's also important to know Idaho's water rights if there's ever any interstate issues. So one of the biggest reasons to adjudicate water rights might be to record those historic beneficial use water rights that have been established through the diversion of water and putting it to beneficial use, but have never been recorded. And so they're valid water rights, but they haven't been recorded with the department. Through the adjudication process, we can record those water rights and preserve the priority date of those water rights. The other benefit is, sometimes we've got really old water rights that have changed over time, and to acknowledge a lot of those changes, you'd need to go through a formal administrative process, a transfer process. Well, through the adjudication, we can recognize some of those changes without going through that process. Property values. Water rights can affect property values, and buyers and sellers want to know what water rights are applicable to their properties. We also know that a lot of the old water rights, the ownership isn't up to date. The adjudication process gives us a way to go through and update the ownership of those rights. So this brings us to the Northern Idaho adjudications. In 2006, the legislature authorized IDWR to proceed with the planning and designing of the administrative mechanisms for commencing 3 adjudications in Northern Idaho. In 2006, IDWR was issued the directive to petition the court to initiate 3 adjudications within the Coeur d'Alene Spokane River Basin, the Palouse River Basin, and the Clark Fork Pend Oreille River Basins. So right now we're in the middle of the Palouse River Basin. So how's the adjudication process work? It starts with legislative authorization. That's what happened in 2006, and then a district judge is appointed. The Attorney General's office petitions the court on behalf of the state. There's a hearing, and eventually a commencement order is issued. After that commencement order is issued, IDWR sends notice to all the property owners within the adjudication boundaries, letting them know it's time to file their claim. Claims are filed, IDWR investigates those claims. After IDWR completes its initial investigation, we submit a preliminary director's report, which is where we are at now. This is essentially the draft recommendations. We're going to mail out these preliminary recommendations to anyone who filed a claim. And this is your opportunity to go through those recommendations and review them and look for errors and changes or disagreements, or we can answer questions, and we can do all this outside of the court process. It's very informal and saves objections down the road. Then a director's report's issued. We go ahead and after we fix all the errors and work through whatever issues we may have, then we send all those recommendations to the court. You'll get sent another copy. And this will open the formal objection period, where if you disagree with your water right or your neighbors disagree with your water right, they can file objections. We can go through that process. In most cases, there's no objections. The water right is decreed as recommended. So just to recap where we've been, 2016, the Attorney General's office filed the petition to commence the adjudication. 2017, court issued the order commencing the PRBA. And in April of 2019, we started taking claims. And we've been reviewing them since. Dates and timelines. April, you're getting mailed those preliminary recommendations. On those recommendations, you'll see that there is a notice of error reply deadline of June 25th, 2021. We need to have you return those notice of errors replies to us by that date, particularly if there is some sort of issue you want us to address to ensure that we take a look at them and can address them before the director's report is submitted. In August of this year, we'll submit the director's report to the court. And the objection period will follow for not less than 120 days, and then a response period for not less than 60 days. So resources. First one, we've got IDWR's website. That's where you're going to find information on the adjudications, all phases of the Northern Idaho adjudications, information on the Palouse River Basin adjudication. There's videos, additional videos on how to search for water rights using a couple different methods. This will be a really good resource to learn about the adjudication process. The PRBA court is a easy to navigate website, which is very valuable in following the court's daily processes. Through the court's website, you can also check the status of your individual recommendations and where it is in the process. Of course, the contact information is available on IDWR's website. The majority of the recommendations were completed out of the Northern Region office in Coeur d'Alene and to a lesser extent out of the state office in Boise. So I've listed that contact information for both of those offices here. So there's additional video resources available on IDWR's website. Of course, there's the video that you're currently watching. There's an additional video that it'll walk you through the notice of error reply form and how to complete that. There's also 2 videos on how to search water right records through a text-based search and through a map-based search. Both of these methods include a way to generate a map so you can get a visual representation of your point of diversion and place of use locations recommended on your water right. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, give one of our offices a call at the contact information listed. Thank you for your time.